Alright, this video is for Chance. I have your quads finished up. So, you sent me a bunch of stuff to build. Here's your quads right here. There's 4 of them. So we got the 2 hummingbirds. Well, they were hummingbirds. I don't know what they are now. I swapped out the frames and then swapped out the camera VTX and then added a Express LRS receiver to both of them. This one has the TBS, I forgot what they call it, the tiny cam, I think. It's got the camera and VTX, but the camera is really wide. You can see it like almost sticks out the sides there. But it fit. I got it to fit, even with that little plastic piece. This is the Goober antenna or canopy, and it's got that little plastic piece that wraps around the lens, so it actually fit going that way. But it does sit back inside a little bit. I haven't actually really checked the video to see how much of the canopy you can see. You might need to slice off this little hood right here that sticks out on the canopy if it's like a lot in the video. But yeah, the Express LRS, this is the EP2, and I got it on the bottom here. You can see it there. I put it right there because it's got that real tall piece on one side of it that sticks up. So if you push it over, you can see it right there. Maybe you can see it. Let's see here. That square piece right there. So it pushes up, it tucks up under there to where if you're using the stick batteries, you can see your stick batteries will still fit. Or, you know, you can use the rubber band and use a bigger battery or whatever. You don't have to slide it inside there, but if you wanted to, it'll still work that way. So there's your receiver. You got your new camera VTX and new frame on this one. Same thing with this one, except this one I ran into a problem with the TBS camera. It actually didn't work. Actually, when I plugged it in, I was just getting black screen, but I always use this thing when I plug stuff in. Actually, no, I didn't on this one. I forgot. I was thinking that's why I didn't smoke, but no, I didn't on this one because it's got the pH 2.0 plug. So I just plugged a battery straight in, and I was just getting black screen. So I didn't know if it was the camera or the VTX. Well, obviously it was the camera because it was black screen. So then I tried the second one, which was this one before it was in here, and it worked fine. So I knew that it wasn't anything but the camera VTX combo. So I tried using my own camera with that VTX and it ended up working. So that's what you have in here now. You have the Ant Light camera, and it actually fit in this canopy like perfect. You can see it's just sticking out a little bit, but that's why this hood's here, because it protects the lens. So I don't think that you see anything in the video of this one. And you got a nice camera on here. I popped the plugs off of the back of it and I direct soldered them. So you have the plug direct soldered on, and then you have this plug direct soldered on. You can pull this out and change the camera settings and whatnot if you need to. And I don't know if you have one of those controllers or not, but I do have an extra one if you need it. Just let me know, because they don't come with them on the Ant Light. Yeah, so you got your same thing, camera VTX, new frame, and EP2 Express LRS receiver in the same spot right there. And on both of those receivers, I ended up having to update them through Wi-Fi, which is kind of a pain in the ass compared to anything else like Crossfire, because Crossfire is just so much easier. But you have to, basically, I just had to have this close to my computer and plug the battery in and wait for it to go start flashing rapidly or whatever, you know, and then click on your computer for the Wi-Fi and connect to the Express LRS through Wi-Fi, and then update it that way. Go to the 10.0.0.1 and update it. Kind of a pain in the ass, but I'm glad that it worked, because doing it the other way through Betaflight bypass or whatever, it did not work. using the Express LRS configurator. It just would never work. Every time I would try it, just didn't work. So, and then as soon as I tried doing it through Wi-Fi, it worked. So once you get the hang of it and you know what you're doing, it's pretty easy. And I don't know if it's worth it or not because I haven't really tested this stuff compared to Crossfire. It's kind of my first time really messing with Express LRS. So this is your Primo. You had me swap out the motors and add Express LRS to this one. You can see it in the top there. That's the same one as the other two, I believe. It's the EP2. And then this one has the EP1 on it. So I'm not exactly sure what the differences are. I know that the EP1 doesn't have that tall square thing attached to it. I don't know if that's the antenna or what, but this one's antenna is more like a Crossfire. But there it is right there. Your receiver is stuck to the FC. You got your Bluetooth thing in there and your Pro 32 Nano, and then your camera, everything. It's all good to go. This was a full build. The other ones were more swaps, but this was a full build. So you got the JH EMCU 13 amp all-in-one, which is a 16x16, and for some reason, I don't know why, but this is a Diatone Roma F1. It's a 1.6 inch or a 40 millimeter prop frame, and it only lets you use 20x20. So I believe that they designed it to go with their Mamba stacks, which is kind of cool, but I mean, this is supposed to be light, you know, so it kind of sucks that they didn't add other mounting options besides 20x20. But since this is 16x16, the JH EMCU, I use double-sided foam tape, the Gorilla tape that I always use. It's the 30 pound, and it works like a charm. It's never going to come up unless you want it to. So you don't have to worry about that. I mean, it's stuck in there almost as good as if you use screws. So let's test hover these and get them on their way. Alright, we'll start with this one. I got it running 2S. There's your video. Looks good. Let's do a hover. Flying really nice. Really, really nice. And if anybody's wondering, I guess I named pretty much all the parts except for the motors. These are the Zing 1103 10,000 kV. Pretty good little motors for the price. Alright, so that one's good to go. The Primo, like I said, I swapped out the motors and added the Express LRS.
Telemetry recovered.
There's your video. Looks good. Let's do a hover. It's flying pretty smooth, but these props, I put back on your old props, so they're probably a little bit bent. You can kind of hear it in the sound of the motor, so you probably want to replace the props. But that quad's good to go. So I'm just going to throw a battery on the whoops. Find what channel they're on. Hold on a second. So there's your video for this guy. Looks pretty good. Let's do a hover. Seems like it needs a little bit of a tune, but not flying too bad. It's really windy in here. I know that sounds funny in my room, but the window's open. It's been so windy around my house the last few days. It's just been insane wind. I mean, just crazy wind. But yeah, the window's open, so the wind is just blowing right in here. And here is the other one. There's your video. And like I was saying to you in a message, now you can actually like kind of check out the difference in the video between the Ant Light and the TBS cam. See which one you like better. So here's this one. Whoa. Yeah, the wind is blowing these things around like crazy. I guess I should have closed the window. Actually, I'm going to do that real quick. Let's see how it does now with the window shut. Alright, here we go. Way better. Yeah, way better than when the window was open. So yeah, there you go. They're all good to go. They're all running express. Got your module here. This thing like really sticks in your radio. There we go. So there's your module. Everything should be good to go when you get it. I don't know, like I said, I don't know a lot about Express LRS, so I don't know. I mean, obviously everything stays bound once it's bound, but it's not like Crossfire where it's more like Spectrum when you are referring to like having the radio on or the quad first. Like you have to have the radio on before you plug the quad in, or else it'll just go into bind mode. But if you always turn the radio on first, then it'll be bound already. So there you go. I'll get these bad boys boxed up and shipped out, and I'll send you over tracking when I have it. All right, thanks, Chance.